The return of the Dragon Ball Super anime is closer than ever, and I can prove it. This is due to the fact that the manga has a lot of content to be adapted, in addition to possible fillers and additional stories, like that of Miras the Angel and much more. The time is now that many animes are trending, and there would be no better moment for its return. Come with me, and I'll explain every detail to you, clearing up all your doubts, but not before you subscribe to the channel, leave your like, and activate the notification bell. If you still had doubts about a new animated saga in Dragon Ball Super, your doubts end now. The first question is, what is the saga that comes after the anime ends, right after the Tournament of Power? Whoever said it's the Morrow saga got it right. The saga that comes immediately after the Tournament of Power in the Dragon Ball Super manga is the Morrow saga, also known as the Galactic Patrol Prisoner arc. This saga begins in Chapter 42 of the manga, right after the end of the Tournament of Power, which also ends in Chapter 42, with some transition panels, and it extends until Chapter 67. In it, Goku and Vegeta are recruited by the Galactic Patrol to face Morrow, an ancient wizard who consumes the life energy of planets and threatens to destroy the entire galaxy. The Morrow saga, officially known as the Galactic Patrol Prisoner arc, stretches over 26 chapters and is one of the densest sagas, rich in world building, new concepts, and character evolution since the anime ended in 2018. By analyzing how the anime adapts the manga or other main scripts, it's possible to accurately estimate how many raw episodes this saga would take in an animated adaptation. To do this, we can look at clear precedents, like the Goku Black Saga and the Tournament of Power, which are important reference points. In the Future Trunks saga, for example, the manga material was shorter compared to what was adapted in the anime, yet it still resulted in around 20 to 28 episodes, depending on where you start counting. The anime extended various scenes, deepened battles, created transition episodes, and even introduced moments not present in the manga, like a longer screen time for fused Zamasu and a more elaborate use of Trunks. In the Tournament of Power saga, the manga condensed several battles, but the anime stretched it to nearly 55 episodes, including episodes entirely dedicated to secondary characters like Master Roshi, Dispo, and even Tien. This shows that Toei Animation tends to expand the manga's content with original scenes, transitions, extra dialogue, and even flashbacks. Applying the same reasoning to the Morrow saga, we have an arc divided into very clear phases that would easily justify an extended adaptation. In the beginning, we have the theft of planets' life energy, the escape of Galactic Patrol prisoners, the return of Goku and Vegeta to action, and the recruitment of Miras, which alone would deserve more screen time, so that his true identity as an angel could be gradually revealed. Toei would hardly rush through these moments. This is because the arc itself has a slower pace in the initial chapters, with Goku and Vegeta splitting up for different training paths, Goku with Miras in the Angelic Space Temple, and Vegeta on Yardrat to learn spirit control. This separation would already guarantee at least 4 to 5 distinct episodes just about training, very similar to what happened in the Tournament of Power saga when Goku went after Frieza and trained with Whis. With the return to Earth and Morrow's attack with his henchmen, there would be individual battles with the Z Warriors that, in the manga, were shown quickly. In the anime, this would inevitably be extended. Each of Morrow's prisoners would get screen time, specific fights with characters like Piccolo, Gohan, and androids 17 and 18, which would also serve as a reason to give more relevance to characters who hadn't stood out in recent sagas. These confrontations could easily fill 7 to 10 episodes if they follow the traditional Dragon Ball anime formula, where even a fight with a minor villain can last a whole episode or more. The arrival of Goku and then Vegeta to Earth, now ready after their training, would generate new episodes focused on their power demonstrations. Goku with incomplete Ultra Instinct, still unstable, and Vegeta with a Spirit Fission technique, something completely new for him, would provide long, sequential fights full of power variations. The manga shows this directly, but the anime tends to prolong every transformation, every turning point with dialogues, flashbacks, and a strong musical score. Goku's fight against Morrow alone could take up 3 entire episodes, from his triumphant entry with Ultra Instinct Sign, to his exhaustion and Vegeta's entrance. Then, another 2 episodes for Vegeta. The arrival of Miras and his final fight against Morrow, where he reveals himself as an angel and ends up sacrificing himself, would also require at least 2 well-directed episodes, with emotional weight, impactful soundtrack, and added original scenes, like the reaction of the other angels, or even Whis and Beerus watching from afar. With Goku finally achieving complete Ultra Instinct, the most anticipated moment of the entire saga, the anime would dedicate at least 3 episodes to cover the final battle against Morrow, which becomes increasingly desperate as the villain absorbs energy, fuses with the Earth, and threatens to explode the planet along with himself. This conclusion, which involves Goku almost killing Morrow, backing off, and then being forced to fight to the bitter end, closes the arc with great intensity. If the anime maintains the visual standard of the Broly movie, The adaptation of this final fight would be handled with extreme care, with longer episodes or ones divided between action climaxes and emotional climaxes. In total, considering all the material, Toei's adaptation pace, and precedents from past sagas, the Morrow saga would result in approximately 24 to 30 raw episodes. This respects the original manga content without rushing, adds extra scenes, more screen time for secondary characters, and takes advantage of key moments like Goku and Vegeta's training, Mira's role, and the final awakening of Ultra Instinct. It's a saga with substance, with structure, that allows for organic expansion without needing forced fillers. Therefore, if it is adapted with the same care as the Tournament of Power or even the Goku Black Arc, the Morrow saga could easily become one of the most complete seasons of Dragon Ball Super, offering not just battles and power, but also moral dilemmas, emotional growth, and the sense that the universe is still full of surprises. It's a perfect bridge between what the manga has already delivered and what the anime can elevate visually. A return of the anime with this saga as its base wouldn't just be natural, it would be inevitably epic. And we know that after years of waiting and countless speculations, the Dragon Ball universe is starting to pulse once again. The loss of Akira Toriyama shook not only the fans but also the creators who, directly or indirectly, carried his work over decades. The responsibility to continue something so impactful is no small matter. It's almost sacred. But over time, clarity came too. It's not about replacing Toriyama, but about continuing the natural flow of the story he himself began, with respect, measured boldness, and fidelity to the essence that always moved Goku, Vegeta, and the others. The return of Dragon Ball Super must, above all, tie up the loose ends. After the Granola arc, then Gas, and with the subtle but powerful introduction of Black Frieza, the narrative points toward a new threshold of conflict. The return of the anime, therefore, should not be a simple adaptation of these events, but a visual and narrative refinement, with more room to explore what the manga only hinted at. Frieza's development as a real and complex threat, perhaps with divine ambitions such as becoming a Hakurashin, could be the perfect spark to reignite the series' engines, while also introducing what would become the main tone of the new Dragon Ball: the balance between the chaos of the gods and the humanity of the warriors. There are many sagas and many things to be done with more care, as seen in the Granola saga. Right in the first episodes, we would see the post-Gas arc being adapted with more attention. Goku's connection with the Saiyan past, especially through Bardock, would become more emotional, deepening his identity as someone caught between instinct and peace. Ultra Instinct, which was previously treated as a cold technique, would undergo a refinement. Now, Goku begins to shape it to his own temperament. He no longer wants to fight like an angel, he wants to fight as himself. This paves the way for the so-called Saiyan Ultra Instinct, where the serenity of the divine technique merges with the natural flame of his warrior blood. At the same time, Vegeta also strays from the traditional evolution model and surrenders more to the path of destruction, strengthening his control over Ultra Ego. But they are far from being the only focuses now. One of the main changes in the new Dragon Ball would be precisely the balance between characters. The series, which for a long time orbited exclusively around Goku and Vegeta, now needs to see Gohan not just as the promising son, but as the intellectual and powerful warrior he truly is. The arc of Gohan Beast, already introduced in Dragon Ball Superhero, would be widely expanded. We would see the ripple effects of his power impacting the world. Perhaps Gohan's awakening generated a disturbance in the dimensions, drawing the attention of beings who are asleep beyond space and time. He, who always sought a balance between ordinary life and battles, would now be forced to accept his central role in protecting the multiverse. The first major arc post-Granola in the adapted and expanded anime could be called the Order of the Gods. A new threat forms as some universes begin to question the centralization of power among the Hakurashin and the Angels. A silent rebellion led by ancient minor gods starts to organize in the shadows. With the multiverse's instability after the first Tournament of Power, the seal breaks, and he returns with darker ideals. He wishes to eliminate Xeno and create a new system where balance is governed by a collective consciousness of warrior gods. To achieve this, he begins recruiting beings from all universes, including Frieza, who sees an opportunity to get closer to his ultimate goal: kill Beerus and ascend as the definitive god of destruction. Goku, Vegeta, and Whis get directly involved in this plot, which takes the warriors to explore lesser-known universes. Universe 6, for example, gains new prominence. Kaba, Kale, and Caulifla are more mature, stronger, and there's a Saiyan king on their side who decides to take part in the conflict. He is ancient, mysterious, and possesses a unique Super Saiyan form not based on rage, but on genetic unity with mythical dragons. This concept expands the Saiyan legends of both universes and creates the possibility for Goku and Vegeta to learn new variations of power outside the god sphere. It would be epic to imagine. In parallel, a curious movement occurs in Universe 11. Jiren, who returned to intensive training, realizes that the universe is changing again. His superiors inform him of rumors about a new tournament of power, this time not promoted by Zeno, but by a secret council of rebellious angels who want to prove that the universe can self-govern without the Zeniths. These dissident angels organize, on the fringes of celestial authority, a much more brutal tournament, with the promise that the winner will not only keep their universe intact, but earn the right to reshape the laws governing the worlds. This second tournament of power, which would be the great climax of the new anime phase, brings together warriors from 18 or fewer universes, including some that didn't participate in the first edition. That's because Zeno, in an unprecedented move, decides to restore the previously erased universes, giving them a new chance. Some of these universes have never heard of Goku or Frieza and possess civilizations far beyond brute strength, with mental powers, time manipulation, and beings who fight by fusing music, art, and matter. It is in this tournament that all main characters return in full force. Goku, now with a refined Saiyan Ultra instinct. Vegeta, mastering Ultra Ego with emotional control. Gohan with Beast Mode, capable of predicting moves with almost mathematical logic. Broly unstable, but now with focus trained by Whis. And even forgotten characters gain space. Trunks and Goten, this time, participate in a different and intelligent front. After all, they have many techniques, using intelligence and teamwork to overcome obstacles that do not rely on raw power. The anime's approach subtly shifts. There's still humor, still the signature exaggerations of Dragon Ball, but there's also greater emotional depth. The previous losses, the choices made by each character, now carry a cost. Goku, who always just wanted to fight, finds himself in the dilemma of being a universal symbol. Vegeta, once driven by pride, now fights for legacy. Gohan no longer wants to deny his power. He understands he must step up when books are no longer enough. Even the gods, once untouchable, begin to show uncertainty. Beerus, for instance, starts fearing his own disappearance in the face of beings who challenge divine laws. Whis remains enigmatic, but he knows the fate of the multiverse may depend more on humanity than celestial order. The new Dragon Ball Super doesn't need to be the same as before. It now carries the weight of a farewell, but also the chance for a new beginning. The animation can dare more. The soundtrack can be more melodic and less bombastic. The dialogues can go beyond shouting and explosions. And the characters at last can grow. Toriyama gave us a constantly expanding universe. Now it's up to the successors to keep that flame alive, not just with more battles, but with meaning. Because Dragon Ball was never just about defeating enemies. It was always about what it means to evolve, even when you're already the strongest in the world.